we're talking today about content strategy, and we know that it's becoming more and more important. You're probably hearing a lot about it either from your employer or from your clients or from maybe others in a marketing department. And it's become bigger and bigger over the past few years. But what we're still not hearing a lot of are really good, meaty case studies about content strategy, those lessons learned, maybe different creative applications of it that cut across the spectrum of budget and types of organization. The other thing that I feel like we're not hearing a lot about yet is really what's content strategy for you? That sort of what's in it for me factor, whether you're an information architect, a project manager, maybe a designer or a creative director, maybe a social media consultant or a search engine optimization specialist. Across that whole spectrum within the interactive discipline, content strategy fits in a lot of different ways, and you really deserve to learn, well, what's in it for you? The question comes up a lot. For which organizations does content strategy really matter? Can you afford to invest in it? Do you have time for content strategy? And I think more and more we realize the answer is, of course you have time for it, and of course you need to invest in it no matter your budget, maybe even in a very small way, because no matter the size of your organization, whether you're a large multinational corporation or maybe your client is a much smaller nonprofit with a really tight budget, or maybe a large governmental organization or a mid-market retailer, you're still going to be producing content, and you can't afford to not have a plan to do that, figure out a way to do that in a very sustainable manner to make sure that you have the right people and skill sets available in order to do that. For all those reasons, content strategy matters, and you can't afford to not pay attention to it. So over the past 10 years, I've had the opportunity to work with a wide variety of clients, and in every case, if we're getting started with content strategy, I always have to first ask them, well, what are your communication goals? What's that order of priority or hierarchy of the things that you really need to communicate to your target audience? It's at that point, after we establish those communication goals, maybe document them in a message architecture, that then we can really get running with auditing their current content to see what's good and maybe where they need more content, where they need to curate and create and aggregate more content. Then we can also develop those prescriptive content guidelines, maybe editorial style guidelines, and editorial calendar to guide what they're doing, whether it's on the web, across social media, in other channels, in print. It all comes back to starting with those communication goals, to starting with a message architecture. In content strategy at work, that's really the focus of Chapter 2. That's really where you can dig in and see a few different exercises that you can apply with your clients or within your company, within your marketing department, to figure out, well, what is the order of priority of our communication goals? Because you can't communicate everything all at once, whether it's in 140 characters or in the space of a homepage. So you need to make those tough decisions, and content strategy at work can really give you the tools in order to do that.